Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 5th episode of the Rival Opinions Podcast. I'm Ryan Crisp, here with my good friend KJ Rainey.
What's up?
We're going to be covering a crazy Week 8 in college football.
Yep, that's how we do it. Let's see. Let's start it out with a heavy hitter that LSU beat Ole Miss, ranked number 7, 45-20.
I know, I seen the updates for that. When I was actually in Columbia this past week for the Texas A&M game, and I remember I was in the club section, and the TV popped up, and I had the scores on there. I was like, what?
Yep.
Blew my mind.
Yep. It was crazy. It was
I did see LSU actually rush the field after that game too.
Really?
$100,000 fine from the SEC. I don't know why you would do that after beating Ole Miss, but they did.
Wait, you can't rush the field in the SEC?
No.
Oh, that sucks.
They say it's unsafe for, which it really is unsafe for the players and.
Oh no,
Everybody.
we live for that, dude. It don't matter. We rush the field every game.
Yeah, you can't do that in the big leagues.
Yeah. 45-20. LSU's leading passer, or not leading passers, their quarterback, Daniels. He was 21-28, 248 yards, 8.9 yards averaging, 2 touchdowns. The leading rusher was Daniels, actually. 23 carries, 121 yards on feet. 5.3 yards averaging and 3 rushing touchdowns.
What a day to have a day.
Yeah, I know.
Man
that
went
dude,
off.
Yeah, he did his thing, son. And then leading receiving was Jenkins with 2 receptions, 51 yards, 25 and a half yards averaging, 1 touchdown. Yeah, they went off. LSU was on their game. For Ole Miss passing, Dart 19 of 34, 283 yards, 8.3 yards averaging, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rushing, Judkins 25 carries, 111 yards, 4.4 yards averaging, 2 touchdowns. And then receiving was Heath, 8 receptions, 145 yards, 8.1 yards averaging, 0 touchdowns. So they only got rushing touchdowns for Ole Miss. So that LSU beat them in the first down category, 35-24. Total yards for LSU was 500. Total yards for Ole Miss was 404. Passing, actually, Ole Miss had more passing yards than LSU. Rushing yards, LSU beat them in rushing yards with 252 yards to 117. Ole Miss had a turnover, and just overall, it was just LSU was just on their game.
LSU just dominated.
Yeah.
They ran away with it.
They just played the better game.
Brian Kelly's really got things turned around since that Week 1 loss to Florida State. I think if they played right now, they would not lose to Florida State.
I don't know. Florida State's a good team.
Again, I think LSU's finally found what's working. I think if they restarted the season right now, they'd be undefeated.
I don't.
I do.
I don't.
LSU's
I
a
don't
good
think I
team.
agree with that. But I'm not saying they're a bad team, but I don't know. That LSU's just the real Death Valley
It's in
holds it
Louisiana.
down. No, yeah, for sure. I'm sure. No, it's actually in Clemson, South Carolina. It was,
No.
Oh, Carolina fans are gonna see too end of November.
I know, I'll be there.
Oh yeah, I will too.
Right there
We're
in-
both going.
You said it wrong. Right there in Meth Valley.
Yeah.
That's Meth Valley. Right
Oh
there.
yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, let's see. The next game we're going to cover is Kansas State at TCU. The Horned Frogs pull it out 38-28. Great game for TCU. Still undefeated, 7-0. TCU side of things, Duggan, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns. Their leading rusher was Miller. He had 29 carries, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns. Their leading receiver, Johnston, 4 receptions, 74 yards, and a touchdown. Overall, just great offensive performance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, TCU is for real.
Yeah.
TCU is good. On the opposite end of things, Kansas State, the leading passer was Howard for 13 of 20, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. He was actually starting at quarterback because Adrian Martinez went down with injury. On the rushing side of things for Kansas State, Vaughn had 12 carries for 83 yards and a touchdown, and receiving, Knowles had 4 receptions for 69 yards. Great Big 12 matchup. The Big 12's been really entertaining to watch this year. I've really enjoyed them.
Overall, great game.
Great game. Solid game.
I will agree. The next game we're going to cover is Oregon versus UCLA.
Chip Kelly's return to Eugene for the first time since he left Oregon as head coach.
And the Ducks pulled it out 45-30. Number 10 beating number 9, which UCLA, I mean, I don't know about them. They're kind of suspect as far
Their
as
fans don't show up to games. It's been like a really big meme. They can't get anybody to show up to their games.
I don't know.
Well, the whole Pac-12 sucks, man. West Coast football is not real football.
I agree. Box score of that for UCLA. Thompson, 27-39, 262 yards, 6.7 averaging, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Leading rusher was Charbonnet, 20 carries, 151 yards, 7.6 yards averaging, 1 touchdown. Receiving was Bobo, 8 receptions, 101 yards, 12.6 yards averaging, 1 touchdown. Pretty solid day. It was solid. That was a solid.
I mean, Oregon's
offense.
really turned it around since that mishap against Georgia where they got blown out of the water.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then Oregon's leading passer was Nix, 22-28, 283 yards, 10.1 yards averaging, 5 touchdowns. It's pretty good day for him. Leading rusher was Irvin, 19 carries, 107 yards, 5.6 yards averaging, 0 touchdowns though. Leading receiver was Franklin, 8 receptions, 132 yards, 16.5 yards averaging, 2 touchdowns. Overall, they had 1 rushing touchdown. The rest was through the air with
really good passing.
5. Oh yeah. Very efficient on the passing.
Just a little side note: old Bo Nix for Oregon. He's 0-2 against South Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, he used to play at Auburn.
Got you.
Bo Picks. He's really turned it around since he went out there, though. He's doing good.
You got the next game to cover?
Yeah, we can talk about the Michigan and Ohio State game. Or not Michigan, Ohio State. It was Ohio State and Penn State, my bad. Ohio State is facing them next week. They're saying there's a big controversy over this game. That's how I wanted to talk about it. Ohio State, Penn State, big top 25 matchup. Historically, usually a pretty good game. You know where game day chose to go instead?
Where?
Jackson State. Going out to the HBCUs for Deion Sanders.
What?
Yeah. Really, really big controversy. A lot of Big Ten fans are really mad because the week they have a pretty big matchup. Just game days kind of snubbing them.
It's overlooked.
Going to the small leagues.
Yeah, man, what the hell? Yeah, that was game day. Something else, man. They choose their games. So what game were you talking about?
So now we'll talk about Alabama, Mississippi State. Alabama rebounding after the loss to Tennessee. Alabama wins the game 30-6. For the stats on this game, Bryce Young was 21 of 35, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs had 10 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. And Brooks was their leading receiver with 3 receptions for 74 yards. On the other end of things, with Mississippi State, their leading passer was Rogers. He was 30 of 60, for 231 yards. Rushing yards was Marks, 13 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown. And their leading receiver was Thomas, 8 receptions for 73 yards. Overall, Alabama bounced back.
Yeah.
Dominant performance like they usually have after they lose.
Man, that Tennessee didn't even slow down. Well, they played UT Martin, though.
Yeah,
it wasn't a big school at all. Beat them
played no-
65 to 24.
They had 50 points at halftime. They could have scored 100 if they wanted to.
Oh, yeah. They, all right, well, now I guess we will talk about our teams. And did you have another game you wanted to cover?
No,
Okay.
I'm good.
Let's talk about the real Death Valley, the real Tigers,
Valley.
the real undefeated, still 8-0, not slowing down anytime soon. No time soon. I don't think we'll lose a game. This year. What? Put your input on it. Who you think's gonna beat us?
I don't know, because you don't really have much left on your schedule.
We have Notre Dame.
But they're ass this year.
We have Louisville.
I don't know anything about Louisville.
I mean, I haven't really kept up with Louisville that much, but, I mean, as you can see, as this year has went, no one is really out for the count.
Hey, watch out. You got to watch out for the Irish, and you got to watch out for the Cox in November.
Man, that is like the least game that's the least
All right.
worries of
All right.
Clemson right now, I think.
You going to be wanting to quit the podcast if you do lose that game.
No. Just tell old Shane Beamer, keep on making us TikToks and don't worry about don't worry about coaching.
He's going to make a TikTok on your 50-yard line.
Just remember
after
who
we
the
win.
real dancing coach was back in 2015 before Little Brother stepped in when Dabo was in there dancing and making videos.
People have been dancing since 2010.
I know, but the Little Brother follows late, dude. It's 2022.
He hasn't been there since 2015.
I know, but while Dabo was sitting there dancing, Steve Spurrier was going to sleep at fucking 7 p.m.
Steve Spurrier was whooping your ass week in, week, year after year.
Okay, yeah. Decade ago, but I mean, I guess that's still
you were the
relevant.
one that brought Spurrier up.
I know, but I mean, it's just a little good old trash talking dude makes more TikToks than reading over plays and practicing with the team.
I mean, we're doing something right in Cocktober. We hadn't lost yet this month.
Man, you gotta come up with a new name for that
No, it's
too.
Cocktober.
That sounds a little that sounds a little edgy from you guys, I guess.
Cock's gonna beat that kitty cat up in November.
You don't believe that. You seriously don't believe that, because I mean, you can't put money behind it.
My gambling days are over. Usually, if
you just know you're gonna lose money.
Usually, if I bet on a game, we lose. In my experience, so I just don't bet on them anymore against anybody.
You gonna lose regardless. I'm sorry to tell you.
We coming.
It's gonna
we
happen.
coming.
You can have your little hope, because you're 25 now. You're the 25th.
Oh, we coming. We going up in the rankings. Just get ready.
Man, come on, dude.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man. Come on.
It's coming. Just be ready.
Oh yeah. Clemson versus Syracuse. That was a first half. DJ wasn't on his game. He had a fumble first half, interception first half. Overall, we had 4 turnovers that game, or 4-1. Syracuse had 1 turnover. You don't usually see teams win a game with the turnover margin like that.
No, that's very unusual.
That's we just.
It's like Syracuse forgot how to play football in the second half. I don't know what happened.
Our defense just shut them down. They couldn't do nothing on us second half. They didn't score the whole entire second half at all. Field goal, nothing. They couldn't even. They barely could drive down the field second half. But Clemson is also a second half team, to say the least, because even if we are not on our A game, first half we come out second half, shut teams out. They can't move nothing on us, and that just proves that we got our shit together, and we pulled out the game. The better team won. Cade Klubnik stepped in. He did good. He led the team good. There was interviews after the game. People probably worried DJ was gonna have hard feelings. DJ's just overall a stand-up guy in the first place. He's a really nice guy. He supports his team. But what he said in the interview, he said, the one thing that people got to understand is the job is not for me to get the most passing yards or to do the best. The job is to do good every game, but if he's not doing his job, it's to win the game. The number one priority is to win the game. Cade stepped in, DJ cheered him on. Overall, stout performance from Will Shipley. Ship happens, baby. That's one thing Carolina's not ready for, is Will Shipley to run all over you guys in Death Valley. I'm telling you.
Yeah, wait until he sees
Your
big number 6 coming at him.
No,
Zach Pickens,
dude,
T.O. Hannah Boy.
Dude, your defense.
Our defensive line has been amazing.
But there's nothing. They're not going to be able to, like, our offensive line is amazing too, and they'll hold your defensive line. And yeah, I just think Shipley's he actually got running back of the week from NCAA, yeah, football league. He stout game for me. I mean, dude is just a beast. I mean, there's none like him, man. None like him. Team stats of that are here. We'll go to the box score first. Clemson leading passer was still DJ. He was 13 of 21, 138 yards, 6.5 yards averaging. And then Klubnik actually only passed 4 times. 19 yards, 4.8 yards averaging. Leading rusher, of course, was Will Shipley. 27 carries, 172 yards, 6.4 yards averaging, 2 touchdowns. He had a 50-yard touchdown, actually. Broke out against Syracuse and did his thing. And then Maffa also had a really good game running. He 18 carries, 94 yards, 5.2 yards averaging, and a touchdown. And Maffa ran good too. Shipley just...
Hey, if you're going to talk about your top players, though, you can't forget to mention the Zebras because they bailed you out a couple times there in the second half.
Oh, of course. Typical Carolina fan to blame the refs and
the
say that the refs
The whole
won it for us.
nation was saying that.
Dude, the whole nation can say it. But if you sit and watch a full Clemson game, the refs are not for Clemson, dude. You can tell. No, they're not.
Only when it's in the ACC.
The SEC refs are so corrupt when it comes to, if they officiate a Clemson game, it's bullshit calls over and over again because that's how the SEC is. No, it's not.
You used to the ACC officiating.
No, dude, I'm telling you, SEC refs are bullshit. If any ACC team plays, SEC refs are biased as hell, and they're going to sit there and have shitty calls.
Yeah.
All game.
Tap somebody on the shoulder. Ooh, late hit.
No, it's a nudge out of bounds, and I'm sure if it happened to Radler, you'd be crying about it too, knowing your fan base.
You did the exact thing, except a little more aggressive to Syracuse's quarterback.
Watch right that. Well, if you seriously, you can go with the bandwagon of the whole nation who's just against Clemson because Clemson. No one respects Clemson at all. No one gives Clemson the benefit of the doubt. Carolina became 25th. Clemson's 8-0. How do you still have shit to talk about them? They're 8-0, dude.
Because they're soft.
We're soft. Okay. You realize it's almost been a decade since Carolina's even been close
soft.
to. Still. Well, I guess you
soft.
guys are softer then.
Oh, we have been. Especially when we were under Will Muschamp.
I just don't see how you can say we're soft when we've had kick-ass years every year. National championships, 8-0, undefeated, playing good teams, playing ranked teams.
No, you've had some years where you weren't soft. This year you're soft.
We've played ranked teams this year. Around the same, mate, you might have played 1 or 2 more games than us, but going back to teams that are ranked now, we have played ranked teams that are good, stout teams, and we beat them.
I think Syracuse is a good ranked team. NC State, I don't have that much respect for. Wake Forest is pretty good, too. I'll give you those two. NC State, I don't have that much respect for at all.
They were still up there, though.
Yeah,
still
but
ranked
fraudulently if you look at them now.
I mean, still, if you go back and look at what they said was a late hit, I watched it too. When at first it was like, I looked at it and I was like, it looks like he hit him out of bounds. Go back, watch the quarterback's feet. Watch him going out of bounds. Our defender was on him. Feet, I'd say at least 5 to 10 feet. He started tackling him. He ran out of bounds, tripped on his own feet, and fell hard. Straight up. You can laugh all you want, dude. Go back and watch. I'll put a clip in here, actually, of his feet hitting against each other and tripping over. I'm telling you. I watched it like 20 times.
I have too.
Because I've heard it from everyone. Oh, that was a BS call. But, bro, Syracuse kicked themselves in the ass, too, with all their penalties besides that.
Syracuse forgot how to play football. They completely sucked it up in the second half.
They just knew that they couldn't stop Clemson, and then, I mean, it was holds after holds after holds after holds after, I mean, just everything. They couldn't stop our defensive line at all. It was holds the whole time, because if they didn't hold us, we were getting through them to the quarterback. But nah, I know you Carolina fans gonna go with the nation. And the thing is, we don't have to get respect, because we don't seek respect from anyone. We don't have to have respect. We don't have to have someone patting us on our back telling us we're doing good. The thing is, we're 8-0. We're pushing strong this season. I mean, I just don't see how you can talk down on a team that's undefeated, 8-0. I just don't understand it. That just don't make sense.
Oh, it's easy.
How?
It's really easy.
How?
Because he's soft.
Say we're soft, we are going to whip Gamecock ass so hard, dude.
Oh, I can't wait for November.
Me either. Rattler's not going to know what to do. He's going to play against
stout
defense.
I ain't even worried about Rattler, because you know what's going to happen?
What?
Rattler's going to get back there. He's going to turn around. He's going to hand that ball to Marshawn Lloyd, and he's going to hit that little counter play, and they're going to gash you for 5 to 8 yards
you're not,
every run.
Dude, nah. We've been shutting down run defense, or run offense, excuse me. That's not happening.
Marshawn's going to run all over you. Then they're going to hit the play action. Jalen Brooks, Josh Van, Juice Wells.
We'll see. Because I've heard it every year for the past decade that it's going to happen. This is the year that it's going to happen. This is the year that we're going to beat Clemson. This is the year that we're going to march in Death Valley. This is the year.
Well, we're getting way off topic. It's only October. We need to save this argument for November.
I mean, you called us soft. Got to prove to you that we're not soft.
But what is the Syracuse stats on the day?
Let's see. Schrader, 18 of 26, 167 yards, 6.4 average in yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Actually, their leading rusher was Schrader, too, 21 carries, 71 yards, 3.4 yards averaging, 1 touchdown. Their leading receiver was Gadsden, the second, 6 receptions, 86 yards, 14.3 yards averaging, but 0 touchdowns. So, yeah. Went in Syracuse, came back, better team won. That's how it goes.
Who do you think is going to start next week at quarterback? Or not next week, because you got a bye week.
Yeah, bye week against Notre Dame. I think they'll put DJ in to start, see if he maybe shook off that game, which he'll have a week because of the bye week to prepare. I think they'll start him, kind of be the same thing. We're going to see what he does. I believe in DJ. Like, I know there's a lot of toxic fans out there. I even know from last season, I've read, like, where they've commented under this dude's Instagram. I mean, just sitting there saying, you suck, you need to get away from Clemson. But, like, and one thing that I don't think they understand is that's not going to help the fact at all of him, that he had a bad year. That's going to get in his head worse. His own fans were, I mean, and just everyone, dude, he was a young rookie quarterback. He had everyone betting against him. He's came in. I think that they'll start him. I think he'll do better this game, but if he doesn't do better this game and he's still kind of on the flunk from Syracuse, they'll put Cade back in. But I think they'll start DJ. I think they'll start him. Especially from interviews after Dabo saying that this is still, he said DJ's still our guy. Excuse me. DJ's still our guy. I think, yeah, they'll start DJ, see how he does. If he's still kind of rocky, they'll put Cade back in. But I think DJ will start that game.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see a little quarterback drama there in Clemson. Well, now we'll move over to the newest edition of Cocktober. South Carolina upsets Texas A&M Aggies, breaks a forever losing streak. We've never beat Texas A&M before. Beat them for the first time Saturday, 30-24. I was in attendance. An absolutely electric atmosphere under the lights in Williams-Brice. First play of the game, kickoff. Xavier Leggett runs back 100-yard touchdown, kickoff return. About the 50-yard line, he ran out of his shoe and still returned the touchdown with one shoe. South Carolina jumps up. After that, A&M goes on offense for the first time. Has a few plays. Throws a pick to Darius Rush. He runs it back to about the 5-yard line. The place was going bananas. Loudest I've ever personally heard the stadium get. My uncle, who was with me, said it was the loudest he's heard it since 2012. I mean, loud. South Carolina then kicks a field goal because we had some of the dumbest play calling from swing pass sat you'll ever see in your life.
That dude makes your offense soft because you
we get the ball on the 5-yard line. Our best player is our running back. He's been running for over 100 yards every week. We run 3 pass plays in the red zone.
Run.
We didn't even hand him the ball. And then kick a field goal. I mean, I don't know how that makes sense. I'm still on the fire Satterfield train. I don't care if we're winning or not. Fire sat. Everybody had a solid day, though. The offense was terrible in the first half. I'm not going to lie. And a lot of it was play calling, though. Like Marshawn Lloyd, our best back, best player and probably on our team, had 3 carries in the first half. That's it. He only got the ball 3 times.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, just boneheaded play calling. Here's the stats overall for the game. Spencer Rattler, 12 of 25, 168 yards. Marshawn Lloyd ends the day with 18 carries, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Christian Bill Smith, our other running back, also got a touchdown on the day. Just want to mention that. Our leading receiver was the tight end, Austin Stogner, 3 receptions, 48 yards.
Was it rushing touchdowns? Is that what you guys? Because I know Clemson, we only had rushing touchdowns. It was a run the damn ball day that day.
That's how we were. I mean, that's how we are anyway. It's kind of our offensive identity. We need to just get the ball to number 1 and let him go. He's the best player. He reminds me a lot of Marcus Lattimore. The way he runs, he just runs angry.
I'll tell you one thing, Shipley, going back, I know that we're talking about Carolina, right? But Shipley reminds me a lot of ETN too. Kind of put your head down, power through, and just don't go down. I'm telling you, man, it's weird because it's weird that you said how he reminds you of Marshawn because it's kind of the same thing. He just puts his head down, runs, and just doesn't go down.
See, on the other side of the game, the Aggies, Haynes King, of course, the leading passer, 17 of 32, 178 yards, a touchdown on the pick. Rushing was Dia Kane, 20 carries, 99 yards, 1 touchdown. And receiving was Stewart with 6 receptions and 87 yards. The Aggies, overall, they just looked terrible all day. Our defensive line was messing them up. It seemed like every play was a quarterback hurry. Jordan Birch is really coming into his own, really living up to that 5-star status, as well as Zach Pickens. I mean, they have really, really improved this year. Really impressed me. And this defense for South Carolina, they're finally going back. They're being aggressive. They're going after the ball. And they seem to have that swagger about them again that we had 10 years ago. That it seemed like somehow we lost under Will Muschamp, and the players always looked uninspired when they played. They don't anymore. They look like they actually believe.
You got to have that to have a good team.
Yep.
You got people like, dude, I know that we don't talk about NFL, but talking about what you were saying, I was out there and I was watching the Tampa Bay game. You know, Carolina beat Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Or Carolina Panthers 1-5 beat Tom Brady, which Tom Brady, they've lost their last 3 games. But out there, you can just see, it's like they don't want to be there, and you don't play a good game if you act like you don't want to be there.
See, that's how South Carolina used to be. Now you can see the belief, and one of the coolest things I've seen at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, 3 Texas A&M defensive linemen come over and grab Spencer Rattler, get in his face, pushing him. South Carolina's whole bench empties out. It's a whole big thing. A lot of arguing. They finally get them separated. The entire team got into a huddle together with Beamer in the middle. He just was getting the offense because we were on offense. The whole defense joined him. It was the whole team in the huddle. And then we go out, drive, I think it was like 87 yards, score a touchdown. That was really, we started turning around on offense.
One thing is, like you were saying just a second ago, you're wanting to move up the rankings. I mean, you guys have to keep the foot. First off, your offense has to start doing more, because you guys, I was sitting at Outback having some cheese fries, looking up at the game, mad as hell, because I thought Texas A&M was going to do it. Even though they were 3-3, I don't know how they were the favorite in that game.
Because, I mean, their whole roster is nothing but 5 stars. That's the thing. They have the talent.
There's
no excuse for them not to be winning games.
They're just not winning games. Because I didn't keep up with it, but I seen they were 3-3. I was like, how the hell are they underdogs like that? Like, that 3-3. But yeah, I was sitting there in Outback seeing it, and you guys, I forgot, was it 17-0?
Yeah, we jumped out 17-0.
And then I remember I left Outback, went and did some stuff, looked back at the thing, and the final score was 30-24. What wasn't that the final score? Yep. I was like, I don't know, Texas A&M I didn't get to watch the second half. Did they just come out second half and start scoring?
Yeah, they mounted a little comeback, and they really, 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 really scared me. So they come down, they make it 30-24. Well, they scored 24. We scored a touchdown, make it 30-24. Go to kick the extra point. They blocked the extra point. So no 31, just 30. Then we get the ball. They get the ball. We stop and we get the ball again. Drive all the way down the field into the red zone. 4th and 1. We could have kicked the field goal, made it a 12-point game. Shane Beamer doesn't. He goes for it, gets stopped. Texas A&M drives down the field, kicks a field goal with 20-30 seconds left. Kicks an onside kick and gets the onside kick back.
See, that's
they come out, throw it to the end zone twice. Thankfully, don't get it. But it was scary. It was scary at the end.
If you want to move up, you got to be coherent and you got to be consistent. Bet on it all game. Mostly in second half though, when it's really crunch time, like you got to get a lead going. You got to pull out on this team. All that, you got to stay consistent with it, I guess. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't really keep up with Carolina as far as like coaching, but from what I've heard from you guys just have had, I don't know, you said the offensive coordinator
sucks. I believe in Beamer. I think he's the right guy. I love a defensive coordinator, Clayton White. Offensive coordinator, Marcus Satterfield, he's got to go. He's got to go. And I know they're probably going to wait till the end of the season because his contract runs out at the end of the year. So they're probably just going to let him go quietly and not have
You guys got to get better coaching staff, clearly. I'm saying, I know Shane Bieber's working for you guys now, but the past few years, I've heard that you guys have blamed the coaches.
I definitely blame Will Muschamp. He was a terrible head coach.
I don't know why you guys wouldn't.
Any teams that are looking to hire a head coach don't hire Will Muschamp. He's terrible. He's absolutely terrible.
I don't know what the hell you guys were, because I remember when it happened, I was like, why?
But Shane Beamer, I think he's the right guy. I love our defensive coordinator. I think Sat's got to go. Got to get an established offensive coordinator in there. But I believe in Cocktober, man. Undefeated in this month. Got one game to go this Saturday against Mizzou. South Carolina is favored. We win that. Undefeated in October. Going to November, going to Vandy, which both of us, me and KJ, will be in attendance for.
I'm actually going to a Carolina game because I'm a diehard Clemson fan, but there's no hurt in going to another team's game. I'll get a Vanderbilt shirt down there in Nashville.
I'm slowly bringing him around to the right side.
That is not happening. It's definitely not the right side.
But no, we will be in Nashville for that game. And I will be in attendance for the Clemson game.
Me too. We actually will both be in attendance. We'll actually both be going to the Clemson game together, just not sitting together because we don't want fights breaking out over there, and that might be a little iffy. But
overall, I think that's going to cover everything. If you haven't already, if you're just finding this somehow, if you haven't followed our other socials, Please check them out. Lots of good content coming that way. Already lots of good stuff out there. We're very active on Instagram.
I say we post about 2 posts a day. We constantly post on our story, and we're constantly posting reels, pictures, stats, news about each of our teams.
And teams around the country.
Yeah, teams
Major
around
news.
the country. Yeah, I mean, just any football news, any college football news.
Very interactive DMs, comments. We will respond to you.
Yes.
Go check out the Instagram. What's the plug for the Instagram?
The plug for the Instagram is rival_opinions_. Actually, while we're on the topic, just before I let you guys go, I've heard of this new app. It's called Stoke. It's apparently like rooms where you can chat about certain games. I haven't really got to really grasp the app yet because it's kind of confusing on like teams that they're actually making rooms for and events that are going on. But as soon as I get that up, I've already made our account. I just have to start making rooms, and we'll have our own little like room to chat in.
So that's coming soon.
Coming soon.
And then we also have a TikTok page.
Yes.
We're not as active on there right now, but that's going to be coming around. We're going to get a lot more content posted on there. It's just rival opinions.
Yep. And yeah, plugged our socials. Go follow, like, subscribe, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you. We're building a great fan base here, great community. Comment. Let us know what you think about the show. If you think either one of us is stupid. If you like our opinions, dislike our opinions. Or you just want to say something about your team. Maybe you're mad we didn't cover them. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. I mean, we'll keep the eye out for them, because one thing that we do is we're diehard with our teams, but we also like to, cover other teams
we're
and kind
football
of
fans.
we're college football fans too, just as much as we are just our team. So if you got a team you want us to, start talking about a little bit more, if we haven't really noticed or seen, because a lot's going on in college football, let us know. But otherwise than that, I think we're gonna end it on that. Thank you guys, and see you next week.
Go Cox.
Go Tigers.